Imagine a road where towering cliffs meet the endless ocean, where every twist and turn reveals a view more breathtaking than the last. A place where hidden beaches, historic landmarks, and nature's raw beauty come together to create the most unforgettable drive of your life. Welcome to California's Pacific Coast Highway, one of the most scenic and iconic road trips in the world. But here's the thing, if you don't know where to stop, you'll miss out on some of the best-kept secrets of this legendary route. What if I told you that along this 600-mile stretch, there are spots so stunning they don't even look real? Waterfalls that plunge straight into the ocean, a castle built by a media tycoon, a town straight out of a fairy tale, and one of the most famous bridges in the world. Today we're taking you on the ultimate Pacific Coast Highway road trip, counting down the 10 most breathtaking stops that you absolutely can't afford to miss. So buckle up because this is going to be one unforgettable ride. Let's get started. Let's kick off our journey in Dana Point, one of the most underrated coastal gems in Southern California. While most people rush past this area to get to Los Angeles or San Diego, they're missing out on a town that's packed with history, adventure, and some of the best ocean views on the entire Pacific Coast Highway. Did you know that Dana Point is often called the whale-watching capital of the West? Every year, thousands of gray whales migrate right past this spot, making it one of the best places in California to see these magnificent creatures up close. If you're lucky, you might even spot a blue whale, the largest animal to ever exist on Earth. But that's not all. Dana Point also has one of the few tall ship harbors on the West Coast. You can explore the Pilgrim, a full-sized replica of the 19th century sailing ship that inspired the famous novel 2 years before the mast. It's like stepping back in time to the era of adventurous sea voyages. Before hitting the road, grab a coffee at Coffee Importers, a local favorite that's been around for over 40 years, and soak in the views of the marina. Trust me, this is the perfect way to start your Pacific Coast Highway adventure. As we head north, our next stop is Santa Barbara, a city that looks like it was lifted straight out of a Mediterranean postcard. With its Spanish-style architecture, sun-drenched beaches, and palm-lined streets, this place is a dream for anyone who loves coastal charm mixed with a bit of luxury. One of the most unique things about Santa Barbara, it's home to one of the oldest working courthouses in the United States. The Santa Barbara Courthouse, built in 1929, is an architectural masterpiece. And if you climb to the top of its clock tower, you'll get a 360-degree panoramic view of the entire city, the mountains, and the Pacific Ocean. But here's something even more unexpected. Santa Barbara has a thriving urban wine scene. Unlike Napa or Sonoma, where wineries are spread out in the countryside, Santa Barbara's Funk Zone is packed with cool, artsy wine-tasting rooms just minutes from the beach. It's one of the only places in California where you can go from surfing to sipping world-class Pinot Noir in the same afternoon. Before you leave, don't forget to stop by Stearns Wharf, the oldest working wooden pier in California. Whether it's fresh seafood, scenic ocean views, or just feeling the salty breeze in your hair, this spot captures the true essence of coastal California. Next up, we're heading to Pismo Beach, a classic California beach town with a wild side. While it's famous for its laid-back vibe and beautiful shoreline, there's a hidden adventure here that most tourists don't even know about. Did you know that Pismo Beach is home to one of the only places in California where you can legally drive on the sand? The Oceano Dunes. SVRA is a massive stretch of coastal sand dunes where you can take a 4x4, ATV, or even a dune buggy for a thrilling ride across the shifting landscape. It feels like something straight out of the Sahara, except with ocean views. But the real hidden gem of Pismo Beach, the sea caves of Dinosaur Caves Park. While most visitors stick to the main beach, a short kayak ride will take you to secluded caves and arches that have been carved by the ocean over thousands of years. The best part? At the right time of day, the sunlight shines through these rock formations, creating an almost mystical glow inside the caves. Oh, and if you're visiting in late fall or winter, don't miss the Monarch Butterfly Grove, where thousands of butterflies migrate and cover the trees in a breathtaking natural display. It's like something straight out of a fairy tale. Pismo Beach may look like just another stop along the highway, but if you know where to look, it's packed with adventure. Some places have a skyline dominated by skyscrapers. Morro Bay has a skyline dominated by a giant volcanic rock. Rising 576 feet above the ocean, Morro Rock is an ancient volcanic plug that has stood as a coastal landmark for millions of years. It's so iconic that locals call Morro Bay Gibraltar of the Pacific. But here's something most people don't know. Morro Rock is actually part of a chain of 9 volcanic peaks known as the Nine Sisters, stretching inland toward San Luis Obispo. Each of these peaks was formed over 20 million years ago, making this area a geological wonder. While climbing Morro Rock is strictly off-limits, it's a protected bird sanctuary for peregrine falcons. You can get up close by kayaking around its base or walking along the scenic Morro Strand State Beach. If you're lucky, you might spot playful sea otters floating in the bay. This area is one of the best places in California to see them in the wild. For a bite to eat, stop by Tongassini's Dockside, a local seafood joint where you can enjoy fresh-caught fish while watching sea lions beg for scraps from the fishing boats. It's a true taste of coastal California. You don't expect to find a European-style castle along the Pacific Coast Highway, but that's exactly what awaits in San Simeon. Welcome to Hearst Castle, one of the most extravagant mansions ever built in the United States. Designed by famed architect Julia Morgan in the early 1900s, this sprawling estate was the dream of William Randolph Hearst, a media tycoon who basically invented celebrity culture before Hollywood even existed. This place isn't just big, it's massive. The estate includes 165 rooms, 127 acres of gardens, and one of the most luxurious swimming pools in the world, the Neptune Pool, which is lined with Italian marble and fed by mountain springs. Oh, and did I mention the castle once had a private zoo? Back in its heyday, guests like Charlie Chaplin, Winston Churchill, and Clark Gable would visit Hearst Castle and be greeted by exotic animals roaming the property, including zebras, giraffes, and even polar bears. Today, a few zebras still remain, grazing along the rolling hills near Highway 1. But the best part of visiting? The view. Perched high above the coastline, Hearst Castle offers one of the most spectacular panoramas of the Pacific Ocean you'll find anywhere on this road trip. It's truly a castle in the clouds. If the Pacific Coast Highway were a movie, Big Sur would be the grand climax. This is the stretch of road where the cliffs get steeper, the ocean gets wilder, and every turn feels like it belongs on a postcard. There's a reason why artists, poets, and dreamers have been drawn to Big Sur for generations. Jack Kerouac, Henry Miller, and Ansel Adams all found inspiration in this rugged, untamed landscape, and once you drive through it, you'll understand why. Big Sur isn't just one destination, it's a collection of jaw-dropping spots that make up one of the most scenic coastal drives on Earth. Pfeiffer Beach, a hidden cove with purple sand, yes really, and a massive rock arch where the setting sun creates a magical glow. McWay Falls, an 80-foot waterfall that drops straight onto the beach, one of the only tidefall waterfalls in North America. The Henry Miller Library, a quirky literary hideaway in the Redwoods, dedicated to the famous writer who once called Big Sur home. And of course, the drive itself is the real highlight. Imagine winding through towering redwoods, crossing dramatic bridges, and stopping at cliffsides that drop straight into the ocean. Every single mile of Big Sur feels like a cinematic masterpiece. If there's one section of Highway 1 that will stay with you forever, this is it. Some bridges are just for crossing, but Bixby Bridge is for admiring. Standing 260 feet above a deep canyon, with the Pacific Ocean stretching endlessly behind it, Bixby Bridge is one of the most famous landmarks on Highway 1. If it looks familiar, it's because you've probably seen it in movies, TV shows, and car commercials. Most recently, it was a star location in the hit HBO series, Big Little Lies. But here's something few people know. When it was completed in 1932, it was one of the tallest single-span concrete bridges in the world. What's even more incredible? It was built in just 18 months during the Great Depression. Most travelers pull over at the main viewpoint, which is stunning. But if you want an even better view, without the crowds, take the dirt road just past the bridge on the north side. A short drive up the hill will give you a breathtaking, elevated perspective, perfect for that postcard-worthy photo. Standing here with the cliffs below and the ocean beyond, you truly feel like you're at the edge of the world. Imagine a waterfall cascading directly onto a pristine beach, with turquoise waters swirling beneath it and towering cliffs rising on either side. This isn't a dream, it's McWay Falls, one of the most magical sights on the entire Pacific Coast Highway. This 80-foot waterfall inside Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park is one of the very few tide falls in North America, meaning it flows directly into the ocean during high tide. But what makes this place even more surreal? You can't actually walk down to the beach. That's right, this untouched paradise is completely off-limits to visitors. Years ago, a landslide destroyed the only access route, and since then, nature has reclaimed it. Today, the only way to see McWay Falls is from the viewing platform above, where you get an uninterrupted, picture-perfect view of this hidden gem. If you visit in the late afternoon, you'll see the setting sun casting golden light across the cliffs, making the scene even more breathtaking. It's a moment you won't forget. Some towns feel like they belong in a different world. Carmel-by-the-Sea is one of them. Nestled along the rugged California coastline, this tiny town looks like it was pulled straight from a storybook. Picture charming cobblestone streets, whimsical cottages with thatched roofs, and a town center that feels more European than Californian. But here's the wildest fact about Carmel. It has no street addresses. That's right, houses here don't have numbered addresses. Instead, locals rely on descriptions like the blue cottage with the red door. And until 1986, wearing high heels over 2 inches was technically illegal in Carmel. The law was meant to protect pedestrians from tripping on uneven sidewalks. One of the most stunning spots in town is Carmel Beach, where soft white sand meets the crashing waves of the Pacific. This is one of the best places on the coast to watch the sunset, with silhouettes of cypress trees framing the horizon. Before you leave, stop by Hog's Breath Inn, a rustic restaurant once owned by legendary actor Clint Eastwood, who also happened to be the mayor of Carmel in the 1980s. Grab a drink by the outdoor fire pits and soak in the unmatched charm of this one-of-a-kind town. How do you end the ultimate Pacific Coast Highway road trip with one of the most scenic drives in the world? The 17-mile drive is a private scenic road that winds through one of the most exclusive coastal areas in California. It takes you past windswept beaches, towering cypress trees, multi-million-dollar mansions, and one of the most famous golf courses on the planet, Pebble Beach Golf Links. One of the most legendary stops along this route is the Lone Cypress, a single, windswept tree that has been standing on a rocky cliff for over 250 years. It's one of the most photographed trees in North America, and has become a symbol of California's untamed beauty. But here's something only a few people know. 17 Mile Drive was originally built in 1892 as a scenic route for wealthy guests of the Hotel Del Monte. Back then, visitors traveled the road in horse-drawn carriages, stopping to admire the same incredible views we see today. The road trip might be coming to an end, but this drive is the perfect way to soak in the very best of California's coastline, one last time. And there you have it, the ultimate Pacific Coast Highway road trip, packed with hidden gems, breathtaking views, and unforgettable experiences. From the whale-filled waters of Dana Point, to the storybook charm of Carmel-by-the-Sea, and finally, the legendary 17-mile drive, this journey isn't just about getting from point A to point B, it's about the magic in between. But now, I want to hear from you. Which stop was your favorite? Or do you have a secret spot along Highway 1 that we didn't mention? Drop a comment below, and let's talk travel. And if you love road trips, adventure, and discovering the world's most epic destinations, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you never miss our next journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep discovering, and I'll see you on the next adventure.